What if doing nothing is actually one of the most productive things you can do? Not sleeping. Not scrolling through your phone. Not watching TV. Not listening to a podcast. Just nothing. Sitting. Staring out the window. Letting your mind wander wherever it wants to go. You probably think that sounds lazy. Maybe even a waste of time. In our world, busy means productive. Busy means successful. If you're not doing something, you're falling behind. But what if that's wrong? What if the way to do more is actually to do less? Today, I want to talk about a concept from the Netherlands that challenges everything we believe about productivity. It's called Niksen. And it might just change your life. Let me ask you something honest. When was the last time you did absolutely nothing? Not scrolling. Not multitasking. Not planning your next move. Just sitting. Being. Existing without a purpose or a goal. Can you remember? Most people can't. Because we've been trained our whole lives to feel guilty about doing nothing. We learned it from our parents. We learned it from school. We learned it from society. Don't just sit there. Do something useful. We heard that message again and again. And we believed it. We believed that every moment must be filled with something productive. Something useful. Something that leads somewhere. And so we fill every second of our lives. We wake up and check our phones. We listen to podcasts while we cook. We scroll social media while we wait. We're always doing something, always consuming, always busy. But here's the question nobody asks: what is all this busyness actually doing to us? The answer is not good. Studies show that constant busyness increases stress. It raises anxiety. It leads to burnout. It makes us less creative, not more. It disconnects us from our own thoughts and feelings. We're so busy doing things that we've forgotten how to simply be. And that forgetting has a cost. A real, measurable cost to our mental health, our creativity, and our happiness. But in the Netherlands, they found a way out. And they didn't need meditation apps or expensive retreats. They just needed permission to stop. The Dutch have a word for this. It's called Niksen. Pronounced Niksen. Niksen comes from the Dutch word niks, which simply means nothing. So Niksen literally means doing nothing. But Niksen is not laziness. That's the first thing people think, and it's completely wrong. Niksen is an intentional practice. You choose to do nothing. You make time for it. You sit down and deliberately let your mind wander, without any goal, without any agenda, without any purpose. No meditation. No mindfulness. No deep breathing. Those are all wonderful practices, but they're not Niksen. Niksen is different because it doesn't ask you to focus or be present or achieve any particular state of mind. Niksen simply asks you to exist. To sit. To let your mind go wherever it goes, without guiding it or judging it. That's it. That's the whole practice. And yet, for most people, it's incredibly difficult. Harder than you might think. Think about the last time you had a few minutes to yourself. What did you do? You probably reached for your phone. You checked Instagram, or the news, or your messages. The silence lasted maybe 10 seconds before you filled it with something. We've become so uncomfortable with empty time that we can't tolerate it. The moment there's nothing to do, we feel restless. Anxious. Like we're wasting time. But the Dutch have a different relationship with stillness. In the Netherlands, Niksen is part of the culture. People sit in cafes and watch the world go by, not checking their phones, not reading, just watching. They sit in parks and do nothing. They stand by the window and let their minds drift. And they don't feel guilty about it. Let me tell you about a woman named Anna. Anna lived in a big, busy city. She worked a demanding job. Her days were packed from morning to night. She was always moving, always doing, always on. But Anna was exhausted. Not just physically. Mentally. Emotionally. She felt like her brain never got a chance to rest. Even on weekends, she was scrolling, planning, consuming. There was no quiet. No stillness. No empty space in her life. One evening, Anna was visiting a friend in Amsterdam. They were sitting in a small cafe near a canal. Her friend ordered coffee. They sat together for a while, talking, and then naturally, the conversation faded. There was a comfortable silence. Anna expected the awkwardness to come. She reached for her phone instinctively. But her friend gently said, "Just sit. Watch the canal. It's nice, isn't it?" So Anna put her phone down. She looked out at the water. The boats passing by. The light on the surface. And she just sat there. Doing nothing. At first, it felt strange. Her mind was jumping from thought to thought. Planning tomorrow. Remembering yesterday. Worrying about next week. But after a few minutes, something shifted. The thoughts slowed down. Her shoulders dropped. Her breathing got deeper. She felt a strange, unfamiliar feeling spread through her body. Peace. Simple, quiet peace. No effort. No achievement. Just being alive, in that moment, doing nothing at all. When they finally left the cafe, Anna felt different. Lighter. Clearer. Like someone had opened a window in a room that had been closed for a very long time. She went home and started making Niksen part of her routine. Not every day at first. Just a few minutes here and there. Sitting by the window. Watching the clouds. Letting her mind wander. And over time, something remarkable happened. Anna didn't just feel less stressed. She started having better ideas. Solutions to problems at work would come to her out of nowhere. Creative thoughts appeared when she wasn't trying to think at all. This is one of the most interesting things about Niksen. Science actually supports it. Research shows that when our minds are idle, our brain doesn't shut down. It actually keeps working, quietly, in the background. It processes information we haven't had time to think about. It connects ideas that don't seem related. It solves problems we've been struggling with. All while we're doing nothing. This is why so many people have their best ideas in the shower, or on a walk, or right before they fall asleep. Their minds were in a state of Niksen, free to wander, free to create. When we fill every moment with input, with information, with stimulation, we take away that space. We don't give our brains the freedom to do this quiet, creative work. And so we lose access to something valuable. Something that can only happen when we stop. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. This sounds nice, but I can't afford to do nothing. I have too much to do. If I stop, everything falls behind. I understand that feeling. We all carry that belief. Busy equals good. Productive equals successful. If I'm not doing something, I'm wasting time. But here's the truth. The Dutch are among the happiest people in the world. And part of their happiness comes from their ability to do nothing without guilt. They understand something that many cultures don't. They understand that rest is not a reward for working hard. Rest is not something you earn. Rest is a necessity. It's as important as eating, sleeping, and breathing. Your mind needs empty time to recover, to process, to create. Without it, you don't get more done. You actually get less done, and you feel worse while doing it. So how do we practice Niksen? How do we start doing nothing in a world that tells us that's not okay? Let me give you a simple approach. Not complicated. Not demanding. Just small steps, like everything else in this series. First, start with just 5 minutes. That's it. 5 minutes of doing nothing. Set a timer if you need to. Find a comfortable place to sit. Put your phone somewhere you can't see it. And just sit. Don't try to meditate. Don't try to clear your mind. Don't try to achieve anything. Just sit and let your mind do whatever it wants. If thoughts come, let them come. If they go, let them go. You're not trying to control anything. 5 minutes. That's all. Second, find a good spot. Somewhere you can see something interesting, but not something that demands your attention. A window with a view works well. A bench in a park. A chair on your balcony. Somewhere that feels calm but not boring. The Dutch love to sit in cafes near canals, watching boats go by. You don't need a canal. You just need something quiet and pleasant to look at while your mind wanders. Third, do it regularly. Not once. Not on a special occasion. Make it a small part of your routine. Maybe every morning before you start your day. Maybe every evening before bed. Maybe during your lunch break at work. The key is consistency. Even 5 minutes a day is enough to start feeling the difference. Your brain needs this empty time regularly, not just once in a while. Fourth, let go of the guilt. This is the hardest part for most people. When you sit down to do nothing, your mind will immediately tell you this is wrong. You should be working. You should be doing something useful. This is a waste of time. That voice is lying to you. Niksen is not a waste of time. It's an investment. An investment in your mental health, your creativity, your well-being. You're not losing time by doing nothing. You're actually gaining something you can't get any other way. Fifth, be patient with yourself. Niksen feels uncomfortable at first. Especially if you're someone who's always busy, always moving, always doing. The stillness can feel almost painful at the beginning. That discomfort is normal. It's your mind adjusting to something it's not used to. Like a muscle that hasn't been used in a long time, it takes some time to stretch and relax. Keep practicing. The discomfort will fade. Here's something interesting about the Dutch and Niksen. In the Netherlands, Niksen used to be seen as laziness. People didn't talk about it proudly. It was something you did quietly, without drawing attention to it. But in recent years, things have changed. As stress and burnout have become bigger problems around the world, people started paying attention to what the Dutch had known all along. Doing nothing is not laziness. It's wisdom. Now, Niksen is being studied by psychologists and researchers. People in coaching centers in the Netherlands report that practicing Niksen regularly decreases their feelings of stress and increases their happiness. It's simple. It's free. It doesn't require any special skills or equipment. All it requires is the willingness to stop. And for many of us, that's the hardest thing of all. Let me leave you with this image. Think about a still pond. A pond with no wind, no movement, no ripples. The surface is perfectly calm. Like a mirror. Now imagine someone throws a stone into that pond. The water ripples outward, disturbing the calm surface. Wave after wave, spreading in every direction. That's what constant busyness does to your mind. It's like throwing stones into the pond, one after another, never letting the water settle. Your thoughts are always rippling, always moving, always disturbed. Niksen is choosing not to throw the stone. It's letting the water settle. Letting the surface become calm again. And when it does, you can see clearly. Everything reflects perfectly. Your mind works the way it was meant to work. You don't need to go anywhere special to practice Niksen. You don't need to buy anything or learn anything complicated. You just need to sit down. Put your phone away. And do nothing. Just let yourself stop. Even for a moment. Let the pond settle. Let the water clear. And see what happens when your mind finally has the space it needs. That's Niksen. The art of doing nothing. And it might be one of the most powerful things you can add to your life. Not by adding more. But by doing less. Thank you for listening. Now go do nothing. And mean it. I hope this video brought you something meaningful. If you find it helpful, please like and share it with someone who may need it. Subscribe if you would like to hear more stories like this. Wishing you a calm and peaceful day.